Hello and welcome back to the Donmar Warehouse. Hope you're enjoying your interval. I'm joined now by Josie Rourke, who is not only the director of Coriolanus, but also runs this brave and daring theatre. Josie, hello.
Thank you very much. That's a lovely thing to say, Emma. Thank you.
You're welcome. I saw Tom Hiddleston earlier in full scar makeup. It was a gorgeous moment. And I said, what shall I ask Josie during the interval? And he said, ask her why Coriolanus, but why now?
Well, I think it's a great play, and I think it's an underrated play sometimes, that it's not a play that's as often done as other Shakespeare plays. Why now? I mean, I hope people feel from the first half that it's a play that's really always relevant. It's a play about the struggle to be represented as a people. It's about a play about the struggle to be understood as a soldier, as someone who is heroic for their country, but perhaps is not a great person in terms of how they understand communication and politics. I mean, you have in Coriolanus, I think, this man who is a great soldier, but how to talk to people whose disrespect is informed by his upbringing, who struggled with his family. And those things are relevant, I think, at any point, not just today.
There aren't any direct modern comparisons that you had in your head while you were directing it?
I think that we talked a lot about, when we're trying to understand what the people wanted at the beginning, about how hard it is to struggle if you need a commodity. At the top of this play, they need corn. So we talked a lot about electricity prices, I think, in rehearsal, and what that tension was. And we talked a lot about what a patrician class was, what a sense of entitlement might be if you feel like you are someone who is born to rule, as opposed to other people. And but yeah, I think that what we were most interested in was going into an understanding of who these characters were, what their psychology was, what it is to seek to find your way in the world, whether you're a terrible politician, a great soldier, someone who's struggling to have a place in politics, like the tribunes, for you as Volumnia is, someone whose wife is trying to negotiate a difficult family, as Virgilia is. Yeah, we were looking for the characters as much as anything else, I think.
With the character of Coriolanus, you cast a man who's been called by MTV the sexiest man in the world. Why did you want to cast him, Josie?
I can't think what was possibly going through my head. Well, he's a great actor, as well as being obviously passing sexy. I think we can probably say that. We're very sexy, though, not just Tom. I think it's important. Important to say that. But yeah, I think that there is something about the ability that Coriolanus has as a character to provoke incredible obsession with him, and his sort of particular quality as a leader is a military quality, and that's something that Tom, I think, is able to inhabit, particularly as a younger actor. Often this part is played by people who are maybe a decade or a couple of decades older, and I think that when you see him fight with Hadley as he does in that great fight with Aufidius, or go in and take the city on his own, you absolutely believe that that young man is the greatest soldier and the greatest athlete that this city has. And I think you also understand that as a young man, he's trying to find his place in the world and find his way, and articulate lots of needs that surround him, the needs of his family or the pressure of his city. So it felt like Tom, as a great actor and someone who is athletic and capable of communicating all of that, was an amazing person to do this part.
It's an extraordinary thing that you've done here, because when I came to see it last week, it was a midweek matinee. With people who'd bought I mean, you sold out all the tickets you released on the first day in the first day. Was an incredible thing. And the audience that I saw, who were mostly school kids, at the end stood up and screamed their appreciation of what they'd just gone through. They clapped, they laughed at every gag. I mean, it was an incredible thing to see. And you've had people sleeping outside in sleeping bags to get your day release tickets. It's a Shakespeare, and it's not even a very popular one. Have you done this?
I think we've done it with an amazing company. I think we've done it with a group of actors who have shown massive dedication to it and generated a huge amount of excitement to it, partly by the work that they've done before. People are excited to see people who they know from film or from the telly, but also because they've told the story of this play, which I think is genuinely a great play and a great story and really gripping. And I think one of the reasons, and we're so gratified when people get to their feet at the end, it's great, is because they followed the story of a play they might not know really well. Like, you know, we all kind of know what happens at the end of Hamlet, probably, no spoilers. But I hope a lot of people watching tonight around the world will be surprised and shocked by what happens at the end of Coriolanus, and that's an amazing position to be in with a 400-year-old play.
Wouldn't it be great if you heard that from Mexico to Sydney, people were standing up and cheering in their cinemas at this?
I can't possibly encourage anyone to stand and cheer at the end of the film. That wouldn't be something I would feel comfortable doing, Emma.
Josie, thank you very much indeed, and congratulations. And we'll all look forward to that happy ending.
Thank you very much.
If you want any more information about the broadcasts I told you about at the start of the show, do visit our website, ntlive.com, or you can follow us on Twitter or find us on Facebook, where there's lots of content about the productions and how the broadcasts are put together. But now, it's back to Coriolanus. I really hope you enjoy the rest of the show. Good night.
Go, see him out at gates, and follow him, as he hath followed you, with all despite. Give him deserved vexation. Let a guard attend us through the city. He's gone, and we'll no further. The nobility are vexed, whom we see have sided in his behalf.
Now we've shown our power. Let us seem humbler after it is done than when it was a doing.
Bid them home. Say their great enemy is gone, and they stand in their ancient strength.
Here comes his mother.
No, let's not meet her.
Why?
They say she's mad.
Take a note of us. Keep on your way.
You well met. The hoarded plague of the gods requite your love.
Peace, peace, be not so loud.
If that I could for weeping, you should hear, nay, and you shall hear some. Will you be gone?
You shall stay too! Why would I have the power to say so to my husband?
Are you mankind?
I fool, is that a shame? No, but this fool was not a man, my father. Hadst thou foxship to banish him that struck more blows for Rome than thou hast spoken words.
Oh, blessed heavens.
More noble blows than ever thou wise words, and for Rome's good, I'll tell thee what. Yet go. Nay, but thou shalt stay too. I would my son were in Arabia, and I tried before him, his good sword in his hand.
What then?
What then? He'd make an end of thy posterity.
Bastards and all! Good man! The wounds that he does bear for Rome.
Come, peace.
I would he had continued to his country as he began, and not unknit himself the noble knot he made.
I would he had.
I would he had.
Pray, let's go.
I get you gone. You have done a brave deed. Ere you go, hear this. So far as doth the capital exceed the meanest house in Rome, so far my son, this lady's husband here, this do you see, whom you have banished, does exceed you all.
Well, we'll leave you.
Why stay we to be baited with one that wants her wit?
Take my prayers with you. I would the gods had nothing else to do but to confirm my curses. Could I but meet him once a day, it would unclog my heart of what lies heavy to it.
You have towed them home. And by my troth, you have cause. You'll sup with me.
Anger's my meat. I sup upon myself, and so shall starve with feeding. Come, let's go. Leave this faint puling and lament as I, in anger, Juno-like. Come.
goodly city is this Antium. 'Tis I that made thy widows. Many an heir of these fair edifices for my wars have I heard groan and drop. Then know me not, lest that thy wives with spits and boys with stones in puny battle slay me. Save you, sir!
And you?
Direct me, if it be your will, where great Orphidius lies. Is he in Antium?
He is, and feast the nobles of the state at his house this night.
Which is his house, beseech you?
This, here before you.
Thank you, sir. Farewell. Friends now fast sworn, whose double bosoms seem to wear one heart, whose house, whose bed, whose meal and exercise are still together, who twinners twere in love unseparable shall within this hour on the dissension of a doit break out to bitterest enmity. So fellest foes, whose passions and whose plots have broke their sleep to take the one the other by some chance, some trick, not worth an egg, shall grow dear friends and interjoin their issues, so with me. My birthplace hate I, and my love's upon this enemy town. I'll enter. If he slay me, he does fair justice. If he give me way, I'll do his country service.
Wine! What service is here? I think our fellas are asleep.
Where is Cartus?
My master calls for him. Cartus!
Goodly house. The feast smells well, though I appear not like a guest.
Now, what would you have, friend? Whence are you? Here's no place for you. Pray, go to the door.
I deserve no better entertainment than being Coriolanus.
Whence are you, sir? Is the porter his eyes in his head that he gives entrance to such companions? Pray, get you out.
Away!
Away? Get you away.
Now thou art troublesome.
Are you so brave? I'll have you talked with anon.
What fellow's this?
A strange one as ever I looked upon. I cannot get him out of the house. Prithee, call my master to him.
What have you to do here, fellow? Pray you avoid the house.
Let me but stand. I will not hurt your hearth.
What are you?
A gentleman.
A marvellous poor one.
True, so I am.
Well, pray you, poor gentleman, take up some other station.
Here is no place for you. Pray you avoid. Come.
Follow your function. Go and batten on cold bits.
Well, you will not. Prithee, tell my master what a strange guest he has here.
And I shall.
Where dwellest thou?
Under the canopy.
Under the canopy.
Aye.
Where's that?
In the city of kites and crows.
In the city of kites and crows. What an ass it is. Then thou dwellest with doors too.
No, I serve not thy master.
How, sir, do you meddle with my master?
Aye, it is an honester service and to meddle with your mistress. Thou pray'st and pray'st. Serve with thy trencher. Hence.
Where is this fellow? Here, sir. I'd have beaten him like a dog but for disturbing the lords within.
Whence comest thou? What wouldst thou? Thy name? Why speak'st not? Speak, man. What's thy name?
If, Tullus, not yet thou knowest me, and seeing me dost not think me for the man I am, necessity commands me name myself.
What is thy name?
A name unmusical to the Volscians' ears and harsh in sound to thine.
Say, what's thy name? Thou hast a grim appearance, and thy face bears a commandant. Though thy tackle's torn, thou show'st a noble vessel. What is thy name?
Prepare thy brow to frown. Knowest thou me yet?
I know thee not. Thy name?
My name is Caius. Who hath done to thee particularly and to all the Volsces great hurt and mischief? There to witness may my surname. The painful service, the extreme dangers, and the drops of blood shed for my thankless country are requited but with that surname. A good memory. And witness of the malice and displeasure which thou shouldst bear me. Only that name remains. The cruelty and envy of the people permitted by our dastard nobles who have all forsook me hath devoured the rest, and suffered me by the voice of slaves to be hooped out of Rome. This extremity hath brought me to thy hearth, not out of hope, mistake me not, to save my life. For if I had feared death of all the men in the world, I would have avoided thee. But in mere spite, to be full quit of those my banishers, stand I before thee here. Then if thou hast a heart of wreak in thee, that wilt revenge thine own particular wrongs, and stop those maims of shame seen through thy country, speed thee straight and make my misery serve thy turn. So use it, that my revengeful services may prove as benefits to thee, for I will fight against my cankered country with the spleen of all the underfiends. But if so be thou darest not this, and that to prove more fortunes thou art tired, and in a word, I also am longer to live most weary, and do present my throat to thee and to thy ancient malice, which not to cut would show thee but a fool, since I have ever followed thee with hate, drawn tons of blood out of thy country's breast, and cannot live but to thy shame, unless it be to do thee service.
Marcius, each word thou hast spoke hath weeded from my heart a root of ancient envy. If Jupiter should from yond clouds speak divine things and say 'tis true, I'd not believe them more than thee, all noble Marcius! Let me twine mine arms about that body, where against my grained ash an 100 times have broke and scarred the moon with splinters. Here I clip the anvil of my sword, and do contest as hotly and as nobly with thy love as ever in ambitious strength I did contend against thy valour. Know thou first, I loved the maid I married. Never man sighed truer breath, but that I see thee here, thou noble thing. More dances my racked heart than when I first my wedded mistress saw bestride my threshold. Why, thou Mars, I tell thee, we have a power on foot, and I had purpose once more to hew thy target from thy brawn, or lose mine arm fought. Thou hast beat me out 12 several times, and I have nightly since dreamt of encounters twixt thyself and me. We have been down together in my sleep, unbuckling helms, fisting each other's throats, and waked half dead with nothing. Worthy Marcius, had we no quarrel else to Rome but that thou art thence banished, we would muster all from 12 to 70, and pouring war into the bowels of ungrateful Rome like a bold flood obey. But come, go in and take our friendly senators by the hand, who now are here taking their leaves of me, who am prepared against your...
You bless me, God.
Therefore, most absolute sir, if thou wilt take the one half of my commission, and set down as best thou art experienced, since thou knowest thy country's strengths and weakness, thine own ways, whether to knock against the gates of Rome or rudely visit in parts remote to fright them may destroy. But come in, let me commend thee first to those that shall say yea to thy desires. 1,000 welcomes, and more a friend than e'er an enemy. Yet, Marcius, that was much. Your hand, most welcome.
We hear not of...
We stood to it in good time. Is this Menenius?
'Tis he, 'tis he. Oh, he is grown most kind of late.
Hail, sir.
Hail to you both.
Your Coriolanus is not much missed, but with his friends. The Commonwealth doth stand, and so would do were he more angry at it.
All's well, and might have been much better if he could have temporized.
Where is he? Hear you?
Nay, I hear nothing. His mother and his wife hear nothing from him.
The gods preserve you both.
Goodeen, our neighbours.
Oh, good evening to you, good evening to you.
Ourselves, our husbands, and our children on our knees are bound to pray for you both.
Live and thrive.
Farewell, kind neighbours. We wished Coriolanus had loved you as we did.
Now the gods keep you.
Farewell.
Farewell.
This is a happier and more comely time than when these fellows ran about the streets crying confusion.
Rome sits safe and still.
Worthy tribunes, there is a slave whom we have put in prison, reports the Volsces with 2 several powers are entered in the Roman territories. And with the deepest malice of the war, destroys what lies before him.
Ha! 'Tis Aufidius, who, hearing of our Marcius' banishment, thrusts forth his horns again into the world.
What talk you of Marcius?
Go see this rumour are whipped. It cannot be the Volsces dare break with us.
Cannot be. We have record that very well it can, and 3 examples of the like have been within my age. But reason with the fellow, lest you shall chance to whip your information and beat the messenger who bids beware of what is to be dreaded.
Tell not me. I know this cannot be.
Not possible.
Menenius, we are sent for to the Senate. The nobles in great earnestness are going all to the capital. Some news has come that turns their countenances.
Know you yet, good Titus Lartius?
'Tis this slave. Go whip him for the people's eyes.
Nay, sure, the slave's report is seconded, and more fearful is delivered.
What more fearful?
Say on, good Titus Lartius, what more fearful?
It is spoke freely out of many mouths. How probable, I do not know, that Marcius, joined with Aufidius, leads a power against Rome, and vows revenge, as spacious as between the youngst and oldest
This
fig.
is most likely.
Raised only that the weaker sort may wish good Marcius home again.
The very trickle?
This is unlikely. He and Aufidius can no more atone than violent as contrariety.
Oh, you have made good work!
What news? What news?
Oh, you have helped to ravish your own daughters, to melt the city leads upon your pates, to see your wives dishonoured to your noses.
Pray your news. You have made fair work. I fear me if Marcius should be joined with Volscians.
If he is their god, he leads them like a thing made by some other deity than nature that shapes men better, and they follow him against us brats. with no less confidence than boys pursuing summer butterflies or butchers killing flies.
Oh, you have made good work, you and your apron men. You who stood so up much upon the voice of occupation and the breath of garlic eaters.
He will shake your room about your ears.
You have made fair work.
But is this true, sir?
Aye, and you'll look pale before you find another. He is now camped at Coriolis, and all the regions do smilingly revolt. Those who resist are mocked for valiant ignorance and perish constant fools. Who is can blame him? Your enemies and his find something in him.
That all man has mercy.
Well, who shall ask it? The tribunes cannot do it for shame. The people of the shepherds for his best friends. How may they say be good to Rome? They charged him even as those should do that had deserved his hate. And therein showed like enemies.
It's true. If he were putting to my house the brand that should consume it, I have not the face to say, beseech you, cease. You have made fair hands, you and your craft. You have crafted fair.
You have brought it trembling upon Rome, such as was never so incapable of help.
Say not we brought it.
How was it we? We loved him. But like beasts and cowardly nobles gave way unto your clusters, who did hoot him out of the city.
But I fear they'll roar him in again. Tullus Aufidius, the second name of men, obeys his points as if he were his officer. Desperation is all the policy, strength, and defense that Rome can make against them.
Oh, here come the clusters. And is Aufidius with him? You are they that made the air unwholesome when you cast your stinking, greasy caps in hooting Coriolanus' exile. Now he's coming. Not a hair of prove a whip. As many heads as you threw caps up will he tumble down. Tis no matter. If he could burn us all into one coal, we have deserved it.
Faith, we hear fearful news.
For mine own part, when I said banish him, I said 'twas pity.
And so did I.
And so did I. And in truth, so did very many of us. What we did it for the best. And though we willingly consented to his banishment, yet it was against our will.
Oh, you are goodly things, you voices.
You've made good work, you and your cry. Shouts to the capital.
Oh, aye, what else?
Go, masters, get you home. Be not dismayed. These are a side that would be glad to have this true, which they so seem to fear. Go home, and show no sign of fear.
The gods keep us. Come, masters, let's home. I said we were in the wrong when we banished him.
So did we all.
I do not like this news.
Nor I.
Would half my wealth would buy this for a lie.
Pray, let us go.
Do they still fly to the Roman?
I don't know what witchcraft's in him, but your soldiers use him as their graceful meat, their talk at table, and their thanks at end. And you are darkened in this action, sir, even by your own.
I cannot help it now, unless by trickery I'll lame the foot of our design. He bears himself more proudly, even to my person, than I thought he would when first I did embrace him. Yet his nature in that's no changeling, and I must excuse what cannot be amended.
Yet I wish, sir, and I mean for your particular, that you had not joined in commission with him, but either had borne the action of yourself, or else to him had left it solely.
I understand thee well. I'll come to his account, he knows. Although it seems, and so he thinks, and is no less apparent to the vulgar eye, that he bears all things fairly, and shows good husbandry to the Volscian state, fights dragon-like, and doth achieve as soon as draw his sword. Yet he hath left undone that which shall break his neck. I'll hazard mine whene'er we come to our account.
Sir, I beseech you, think you he'll carry Rome?
All places yield to him ere he sits down. The The senators and patricians love him. The tribunes are Norse soldiers, and their people will be as rash in the repeal as hasty to expel him thence. I think he'll be to Rome, as is the osprey to the fish, who takes it by sovereignty of nature. First he was a noble servant to them, but he could not carry his honours even, whether it was pride, whether defect of judgment, or whether nature commanding peace as he controlled the war, or whether spices of them all have made him feared. He's hated and he's banished. Yet he has a merit to choke in the utterance. One fire drives out one fire. One nail, one nail. Rights by rights falter, strengths by strengths do fail. Come, let's away. When Caius, Rome is thine, thou art poorest of all, then shortly art thou mine.
No, I'll not go. You hear what he has said to him, which was his general, who loved him in a most dear particular. He called me father. But what of that? Go you that banished him, a mile before his tent fall down, and neither way into his mercy. Nay, if he coy to hear Cominius speak, I'll keep at home.
He would not seem to know me.
Do you hear?
Yet but one time he did call me by my name. I urged our old acquaintance and the drops that we have bled together. Coriolanus he would not answer to, forbade all names. He was a till he had forged himself a name of the fire of burning Rome.
Why, so you have made good work.
I minded him how royal 'twas to pardon when it was less expected. He replied it was a poor petition of the state to one whom they had punished.
Very well. Could he say less?
I offered to awaken his regard for his private friends. His answer to me was, he could not stay to pick them from a pile of noisome, musty chaff. He said 'twas folly for one poor grain or two to leave unburned. The offence.
For one poor grain or two. I am one of those. His mother, wife, his child, this brave fellow too, we are the grains. You are the musty chaff, and you are smelt above the moon. We must be burnt for you.
Nay, pray be patient. If you refuse your aid in this so never needed help, yet do not upbraid us with our distress. Yet sure, if you would be your country's pleader, your good tongue might stop our countrymen.
No, I'll not meddle.
Pray you, go to him.
What should I do?
Only make trial what your love can do for Rome towards Marcius.
Well, and say Marcius return me, as Cominius is returned, unheard. What then? But as a discontented friend, grief shot with his unkindness. Say it be so.
Then take Rome's thanks, as you intended well.
Oh, I'll undertake it. I think he'll hear me. Yet to bite his lip and hum at good Cominius much unhearts me. He was not taken well. He had not dined. The veins unfilled, our blood is cold, and then we pout upon the morning, are unapt to give or to forgive. But when we have stuffed these and these conveyances of our blood with wine and feeding, we have suppler souls than in our priest-like fast. Therefore I'll watch him till he be dieted to my request. And then I'll set upon him.
You know the very road into his kindness, and cannot lose your way.
Good faith, I'll prove him speed how it will. I shall ere long have knowledge of my success.
He'll never hear him.
Not.
I tell you, he does sit in gold. His eye red as 'twould burn Rome, and his injury the jailer to his pity. I kneeled before him. 'Twas very faintly he said, rise, dismissed me thus with his speechless hand. What he would do, he sent in writing after me. What he would not, bound with an oath to yield to his condition. So all hope is vain, unless his noble mother and his wife, who, as I hear, mean to solicit him for mercy to his country. Therefore, let us hence, and with our fair entreaties haste them on.
To you! Stand! And go back. You guard like men, 'tis well. But by your leave, I am an officer of state and come to speak with Coriolanus.
From whence?
From Rome.
You may not pass, you must return. Our general will no more hear from then.
You'll see your Rome embraced with fire before you'll speak with Coriolanus.
Good, my friends. If you have heard your general talk of Rome and of his friends there, it is lots to blanks my name hath touched your ears. It is Menenius.
Well, be it so, go back. The virtue of your name is not here passable.
I tell thee, fellow, the general is my lover. I have been the book of his good acts, whence men have read his name unparalleled, haply amplified. For I have ever verified my friends, of whom he's chief, with all the sighs that verity would, without lapsing, suffer. Nay, sometimes, like to a bowl upon a subtle ground, I have tumbled past the throw. And in his praise have almost stamped the leasing. Therefore, fellow, I must have leave to part.
In faith, sir, if you had told as many lies in his behalf as well, it were as virtuous to lie as to live chastely. Therefore, go back.
Prithee, fellow, remember, my name is Menenius, always factionary on the party of your general.
Howsoever you have been his liar, telling true unto him must say that you cannot pass. Therefore, go back.
Hast he dined, canst thou tell? For I will not speak to him till after dinner.
You're Roman, are you?
I am, as thy general is.
Then you should hate Rome, as he does. Can you, when you have pushed out your gates the very defender of them, and in a violent popular ignorance given your enemy your shield, think to front his revenges with the easy groans of old women, or the palsied intercession of such a decayed dotant as you seem to be? Can you think to blow out the intended fire your city is ready to flame in with such a weak breath as this? No, you are deceived. Therefore, back to Rome, and prepare for your execution. You are condemned. Our general has sworn you out of reprieve and pardon.
Sirrah, if thy captain knew I were here, he would use me with estimation.
Come, sir, my captain knows you not!
I mean thy general.
My general cares not for you. Back, I say. Go, lest I let forth your half pint of blood. Back. That's the utmost of your having. Back.
Hey, but fellow, what's the matter? Now, you companion. I am in estimation. You should perceive that a Jack Gardant cannot office me from my son Coriolanus. Guess but by my entertainment with him, if thou standst not in the state of hanging, and swoon for what is to come upon thee. The glorious gods sit in hourly synod about thy particular prosperity and love thee no way. And thy old father Menenius does. Oh, my son. My son. Thou art preparing fire for us. Look thee. Here's water to quench it. I was hardly moved to come to thee, but being assured none but myself could move thee, I have been blown out of your gates with sighs, and conjure thee to pardon Rome and thy petitionary countrymen. The good gods assuage thy wrath and turn the dregs of it upon this varlet here, this who like a block hath denied me access to thee.
Away.
How away?
Wife, mother, child, I know not. My affairs are servanted to others. Though I alone know my revenge, my remission lies in Volscian breasts. That we have been familiar, ingrate forgetfulness shall poison rather than pity note how much. Therefore, be gone. Mine ears against your suits are stronger than your gates against my force. Yet for I love thee. Take this along. I writ it for thy sake and would have rent it. Another word, Menenius! I will not hear you speak! This man, Aufidius, was my beloved in Rome. Yet thou beholdest.
You keep a constant temper.
He is grown from man to dragon. This Marcius has wings. He's more than a creeping thing. When he walks, he moves like an engine, and the ground shrinks before his treading. There is no more mercy in him than there is milk in the male tiger. What he bids be done is finished with his bidding. He wants nothing of a god but eternity and a heaven to throne it in.
Now, sir, is your name Menenius?
'Tis a spell, you see, of much power. You know the way home again.
Did you hear how we are shent for keeping your greatness back?
What cause do you think I have to swoon?
I neither care for the world nor your general. For such things as you, I can scarce think there's any. You are so slight. He that hath a will to die by himself, fears it not from another. Let your general do his worst. For you, be that you are long, and your misery increase with your age. I say to you, as I was said to. Away.
A noble fellow, I warrant him.
The worthy fellow is our general. He is the rock, the oak, not to be windshaken.
We will, before the walls of Rome, tomorrow, set down our host. My partner in this action. You must report to the Volscian lords how plainly I have borne this business.
Only their ends you've respected. Stopped your ears against the general suit of Rome. Never admitted a private whisper. No, not with such friends that thought them sure of you.
This last old friend, whom with a cracked heart I have sent to Rome, loved me above the measure of a father. Nay, godded me indeed. Their latest refuge was to send him, for whose old love I have, though I showed sourly to him, once more offered the first conditions, which they did refuse, and cannot now accept, to grace him only that thought he could do more. A very little I have yielded to. Fresh embassies and suits, nor from the state, nor private friends, hereafter. Huh? What shot is this? Shall I be tempted to infringe my vow in the same time 'tis made? I will not. My wife comes foremost. Then the honored mold wherein this trunk was framed, and in her hand the grandchild to her blood. Without affection, all bond and privilege. It be virtuous to be obstinate. What is that courtesy worth? Which can make gods forsworn. I melt, and am not of stronger earth than others. My mother bows, as if Olympus to a molehill should in supplication nod. And my young boy hath an aspect of intercession which great nature cries, deny not. Let the Volskis plough Rome and harrow Italy. I'll never be such a gosling to obey instinct, but stand as if a man were author of himself and knew no other kin.
My lord and husband,
These eyes are not the same I wore in Rome.
the sorrow that delivers us thus changed makes you think so.
Like a dull actor, now I've forgot my part. And I am out, even to a full disgrace. Best of my flesh, forgive my tyranny, but do not say for that, forgive our Romans. Oh, a kiss. Long as my exile, sweet as my revenge. Now, by the jealous Queen of Heaven, that kiss I carried from thee, dear, and my true lip hath virgined it e'er since. You gods, I prate, and the most noble mother of the world, leave sink my knee in the earth. Of thy deep duty more impression show than that of common sons.
And up blessed, whilst with no softer cushion than the flint, I kneel before thee, and unproperly show duty as mistaken all the while between the child and parent.
What's this? Your knees to me, to your corrected son. Then let the pebbles on the hungry beach strike at the stars. Then let the mutinous winds fling the proud cedars against the fiery sun, murdering impossibility to make what cannot be slight work.
Thou art my warrior. I help to frame thee. Do you know this lady?
The noble sister of Publicola. Chaste as the icicle that's congealed by frost from purest snow and hangs on Diane's temple, dear Valeria.
This is a poor epitome of yours, which by the full interpretation of time may show like all yourself.
god of soldiers. Inform thy thoughts with nobleness, that thou mayest prove to shame unvulnerable, and stick in the wars like a great sea mark, standing every flaw and saving those that eye thee.
Thy knee, sirrah.
That's my brave boy.
Even he, your wife, this lady, and myself are suitors to you.
I beseech you, peace. Or if you'd ask, remember this before. The thing I have forsworn to grant may never be held by you denials. Do not bid me dismiss my soldiers, or capitulate again with Rome's mechanics. Tell me not wherein I seem unnatural, and desire not to ally my rages and revenges with your colder reasons.
Oh, no more, no more. You have said you will not grant us anything, for we have nothing else to ask but that which you deny already. Yet we will ask that if you fail in our request, the blame may hang upon your hardness. Therefore, hear us.
Phidias and you, Volskis, mark, for we'll hear naught from Rome in private. Your request.
Should we be silent and not speak, our raiment and state of bodies would betray what life we have led since thy exile. Think with thyself, how more unfortunate than all living women are we come hither, since that thy sight, which should make our eyes flow with joy, hearts dance with comforts, constrains them weep and shake with fear and sorrow, making the mother, wife, and child to see the son, the husband, and the father tearing his country's bowels out. And too poor we, thine enmity's most capital. Thou barst us our prayers to the gods, which is a comfort that all but we enjoy. For how can we, alas, how can we for our country pray, whereto we abound, together with thy victory, whereto we abound? Alas, or we must lose the country, our dear nurse, or else thy person, our comfort in the country. We must face an evident calamity, though we had our wish which side should win. For either thou must, as a foreign recreant, be led with manacles through our streets, or else triumphantly tread on thy country's ruin, and bear the palm for having bravely shed thy wife and children's blood. For myself, son, I purpose not to wait on fortune till these wars determine. If I cannot persuade thee, rather to show a noble grace to both parts than seek the end of one, thou shalt no sooner march to assault thy country than to tread, trust to it thou shalt not, on thy mother's womb that brought thee to this world.
I and mine that brought you forth this boy to keep your name living to time.
I shall not tread on me. I'll run away till I'm bigger, but then I'll fight.
Not of a woman's tenderness to be, requires nor child nor woman's face to see. I have sat too long.
Nay, go not from us thus. If it were so that our request did tend to save the Romans, thereby to destroy the Volskis whom you serve, you might condemn us as poisoners of your honor. No, our suit is that you reconcile them. So the Volskis may say, this mercy we have shown, the Romans this we received, and each in either side give thee all hail to thee, and cry, be blessed for making up this peace. Thou knowest, great son, the end of wars conquer Rome. The benefit which thou shalt thereby reap is such a name whose repetition will be dogged with curses. whose chronicle thus writ, the man was noble, but with his last attempt he wiped it out, destroyed his country, and his name remains to the ensuing age abhorred. Speak to me, son. Thinks thou it honourable for a noble man still to remember wrongs? Daughter, speak you, he cares not for your weeping. Speak thou, boy, perhaps thy childishness will move him more than can our reasons. There's no man in the world more bound to his mother, yet here talks. Thou hast never in thy life shown thy dear mother any courtesy when she, poor hen, fond of no second brood, hath clucked thee to the wars and safely home, loaden with honour. Say my request's unjust and spurn me back, but if it be not so, thou art not honest, and the gods will plague thee, that thou restrainst from me the duty which to a mother's part belongs. Ladies, let us shame him with our knees. To his surname, Coriolanus longs more pride than pity to our prayers. Down! An end! This is the last! So, we will home to Rome and die among our neighbours. Nay, beholdst this boy that cannot tell what he would have, but kneels and holds out hands for fellowship, does reason our petition with more strength than thou hast to deny it. Let's go. This fellow had a Volscian to his mother. His wife is in Coriolis, and his child. Yet give us our dispatch. I am hushed until our city be afire, and then I'll speak.
Oh, Mother. Mother. What have you done? Behold, the heavens do ope, the gods look down, and this unnatural scene they laugh at. Oh, my mother. Mother. Oh. You have won a happy victory to Rome. But for your son, believe it. Oh, believe it. Most dangerously with him you have prevailed, if not most mortal to him. Aufidius, though I cannot make true wars, I'll frame a convenient peace. Now, good Aufidius, were you in my stead, would you have heard a mother less, or granted less, Aufidius?
I was moved withal.
I dare be sworn you were. And, sir, it is no little thing to make mine eyes to sweat compassion. But, good sir, what peace you'll make, advise me. Oh, mother. Wife. I'll not to Rome, but by and by, fear not, that we will drink together. You deserve to have a temple built you. All the swords in Italy and her Confederate arms could not have made this peace. Farewell. Farewell. Now, good sir, what peace you'll make, advise me.
We must proceed as we do find the people. Go, tell the lords of the city what is done. Even in theirs and the commons' ears, I will avouch the truth of it. This traitor!
Traitor?
Aye, traitor, Marcius.
Marcius!
Aye, Marcius. Caius Marcius, dost thou think I'll grace thee with that robbery? Thy stolen name, Coriolanus? Being banished, you did come unto my hearth, presented to my knife your throat. I took you, made you joint servant with me, gave you way in all your own desires. Nay, let you choose out of my files your projects to accomplish, my best and freshest men, till at the last I seemed your follower, not partner. Yet, what faults you made before the last, I think might have found easy finds. But here to end where we were to begin, and give away the benefit of our levies, answering us with our own charge, making a treaty where there was a yielding. This admits no excuse. Volskis, he hath betrayed your business and given up for certain drops of salt. Your city, Rome, I say your city, to his wife and mother, and at their tears, which are as cheap as lies, he whined and roared away your victory. That pages blushed at him, and men of heart looked wondering at each other.
Hearest thou, Mars?
Name not the god, thou boy of tears. No more.
Measureless liar! Thou hast made my heart too great for what contains it. Boy of slave!
Cut me to pieces, Volskis.
Men and lads, stain all your edges on me.
Boy, false hound, if you have writ your annals true, 'tis there, that like an eagle in a dovecote, I fluttered your Volskians in Coriolis. Alone I did it, boy!
My rage is gone, and I am struck with sorrow. Let him die for it. mine. I raised him and I pawned my honor for his truth. We patient fools, whose children he has slain. Our babes' throats tore with giving him glory. Take him up. Which to this our yet he shall have a noble memory. Assist.